Becoming a prime target for gun violence once again. The city of Richmond was known as one of the
Welcome everybody once again to the FOF Podcast Season 2, Episode 2, Episode 12. Me and Lady don't know what to call it, but nonetheless, the show must go on. So here we aim to empower the youth and to air things out and hopefully show you guys a great time. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And tonight we are talking about the importance of voting, people. Okay, in our own personal experience within the whole voting thing and all that good stuff. Before we get into it, though, allow for me to introduce ourselves. That handsome devil over there playing footies with me right now. His name is Anselmo. Anselmo, what's going on, bro?
I don't know if my feet are that big or my legs are that long.
Oh, they don't know that.
Hey, okay, but look, we're straight to the point. You can see it right here on my face, on this mask here, this beautiful mask that our guest, who we're going to introduce in just a couple seconds, brought to us. Yes. Do you have more of these? I'm sure the viewers want some. No promises. No promises.
She's right.
No promises. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this one, so let's get it.
All right, and as always, we have the lovely D Money. I call her D Money, but she goes by Diana. What's up,
Hi,
Diana?
everybody. Hey, everybody. It's good to be here. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited about this episode, and we have our guests here right next to me.
Cool. But before we get to our guest, though, we want to introduce the last of our, I would say, regular panel.
The regulars.
The man, the myth, the legend, Giovanni.
How's it going, everybody? Season 2, Episode 2, double.
Double whammy.
Yeah. Glad to be back. Looking forward to learning stuff today. Actually,
Cool.
More on the voting. Yeah.
Yes, and hopefully we can teach a few things or share a few things with people out there. So we also have my nephew, young Ronnie, on the board. He doesn't have a microphone today, but nonetheless, he is manning the board. And to introduce our guest for tonight, a very, very good friend of mine, very dear friend of mine. I've known her for quite some time now, and I am glad to have her here. She is a Richmond native. She has been serving the community for quite some time now. I reached out to her because she's very knowledgeable on this topic, and she's just a smart person to talk to, and I think that hopefully you guys enjoy her as much as I'm sure we are tonight. And our guest for tonight is Miss Yenny Garcia. How you doing, Yenny?
Hi, I'm doing fabulous. I am so happy to be here with you guys and to have the opportunity to talk to all our community members.
Yeah. So obviously, the topic itself is very broad. There's a lot of information, so we definitely want to get that out to you guys. It's very, very important, especially, it's right around the corner, right? So we got to get this out as soon as possible. Let's get these people informed. But before we do so, before we hop into our main topic of this evening, let's get some positive vibes and news going, because there's so many beautiful things happening out there. As you know, let's see. Ronnie, is the mic still on? Do you know? Because it seemed like it made it cut off. Good to people down there. I don't know. Well, I'm gonna just keep on going because there's so much going on anyways. So
yeah, let's go.
So let's get some more positive vibe going on. Anselmo, do you have any positive news on your news clip called Anselmo Anselmo the Hoodlectual?
The Hoodlectual.
The Hoodlectual.
The Hoodlectual. Are we gonna show the news segment clip?
Yes,
boom, Richmond news. All right, short and sweet there. Look, guys. So as you know, We're only going to be talking about positive news. We're going to talk about things happening in Richmond and the surrounding area. This week, I got a few things I wanted to share with you. But if you have some good news that you want us to share and highlight, please make sure that you let us know, because we want to recognize good things happening, good people doing good things, and all that good stuff. So with that said, first thing I wanted to share, if you didn't know, now you do, you will, is that the Contra Costa County has moved from substantial to moderate on their county risk level. So what does that mean, right? A variety of businesses are going to be allowed to operate and do different things that they were restricted from for a while. So we went into this whole shelter in place on wearing a mask since when? March?
Since March.
Can't even remember anymore.
Wow.
March 17th.
It's crazy, right?
Show
St.
that
Patrick's
image,
Day?
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Image number 1, please.
So look, take a look at this chart. We're working our way down. We're not on the widespread or substantial anymore. Now we're in moderate. And so basically it's based on the percentage of the adjusted case rate and the positivity rate. So as long as there are less cases reported and we're moving in the right direction, soon we'll be at minimal and we'll be able to do more things. So what things are opening up, right? In the orange tier, dine-in restaurants, places of worship, movie theaters can open at 50% capacity or 200 people, whichever is fewer. Indoor retail centers no longer have capacity limits, although masks and social distancing remain in place. And so we're moving in the right direction. Continue to be safe. And soon, I hope that we'll be out of this crazy, crazy year and crazy pandemic that we're living through. So please keep that in mind and keep your family and yourself safe. So the next thing that I wanted to hit on, before I do that, you all here today, what do you guys have planned for Halloween? Real quick, what do you have planned for Halloween? You have plans? No?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah? So there's some things going on. If you don't have anything going on yet, there's a community cleanup that moving forward is actually hosting, socially distanced and all that, with masks and hand sanitizer, all that good stuff. Meet us at 971 West Ohio Avenue, Richmond, California, 94801. Check it out on the Moving Forward page. You can see it right
All the way.
there.
Yep.
Somewhere there. So we're figuring this stuff out, but please come there, wear your costume. We may have some surprises for you. So I know many people may not be able to go trick-or-treating, but we're going to have some stuff for you. We usually always have coffee and donuts for the adults, but if you bring your kids too, it is kid-friendly. It's outdoors. We'll keep far apart and safe. We're going to do a little cleaning and show some love to some areas in Richmond that need it. We're going to be partnering with Safe Organized Spaces, SOS Richmond. They are led by the great Daniel Barth. He's doing a lot of things in the Richmond community right now for the unsheltered community, people who really need it, especially heading into the winter season, right? It gets tough out there. So look, come out, show some love to our city, and that's what we're hosting. So please save the date. Can't forget it. All right. Yes, y'all. The next thing that I wanted to share, cue the picture, Ronnie. Boom, boom, boom. It's another Halloween thing going on, right? There's a lot going on, actually, right? And so I wanted to highlight just a couple of the things. There's a Grab and Go Pumpkin Festival, Friday, October 30th from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the West Contra Costa County Youth Services Bureau. They're hosting it. You can check it out, right? What's the address? Let me find that address for you. It is actually at 32nd Street and McDonald. No. That's the Soulful Softball Sunday one. See, there's so many things going on. It's hard to keep up. But look, Soulful Softball Sunday, that's another organization in Richmond. They're going to be having something at Nickel Park on Halloween, the 31st. For those of you who don't know, Halloween is always on the 31st, right? Am I right? From 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., they're going to be giving out candy drive-by. Not the drive-by like you may remember back in the days. This drive-by got a whole new meaning now.
Okay.
Right? Now,
Yeah, I was gonna, really? Drive by?
Yeah, it's a drive-by.
Yeah.
But instead of driving by and everyone ducking, you drive by and get some candy and stuff.
Gotcha.
So, it's good. Check it out. And if you need some things for your family to do during this Halloween, DM us, let us know, and we can hook you up and let you know where there are some safe safe places for you to go and get some resources and enjoy the holiday spirit. I know it's hard during these times, but
Gotta find a way.
there's a way.
Yeah.
And I could imagine, I don't know about you all, as a kid, I would have been devastated
Yeah.
that Halloween got canceled. I'm not gonna say it's canceled. It's not. But I would have been devastated.
It is the cancel culture going on though, so I, you know, they might just find a way.
I don't know. Was I the only one that would go trick or treating?
Yes.
Get all my candy,
Yes, you were.
pour it out on the floor,
Oh.
separate it. Okay, I got 10 Three Musketeers, 5 Snickers, and then I would trade with my siblings. Like, okay, I love Snickers, so I would be like, okay, I'll give you 2 Butterfingers and M&Ms for 1 Snickers.
Wait,
Well,
so you used to organize a candy?
Man, yeah, I was organized since way back. Man.
Wow.
I don't know about you all, but that's how I did it.
Yeah,
Growing
yeah.
Up, I had this neighbor who would give out McDonald's certificates.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
man.
neighbor
All
right
right.
next door never had candy, so he would just give out like snacks from his house, like bags of chips, stuff like that.
And this is, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
this is before they banned GMOs. So this is
Yeah.
this is pre-GMO.
Yeah.
This is a bigger bag of hot Cheetos.
Hot
A little
Cheetos.
baby bag, yeah.
Look, I had some neighbors that gave out like homemade popcorn balls, and people would just throw it in the lawn. Like, I don't want that.
Now, see, what I used to do back in the day, I used to gain a lot of friends because I never had sweet tooth as a kid.
Yeah.
So come Halloween, I take my pillowcase of candy and just start dishing them out.
Okay.
You know, I
You
would
would
trade
get-
some for Pogs
Yeah.
sometimes. What was hot back then? Pokemon.
Yo-yos,
wasn't
Pokemon.
No, Pokemon wasn't hot until like middle school for me, at least.
What was it, Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Yu-Gi-Oh was around Pokemon, so that was middle school still.
Yeah.
But
I wonder why you were so
Pogs.
popular.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
I like to buy my friendships somehow. Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm waiting. No, okay. So that's it for news. We could keep going, but please share some good news. We want to keep it positive. Today we got a really important topic to discuss, so I don't want to hold it up. We got to get to this.
We got to get to it. So that segment itself, I'm sorry I butchered it in the beginning, but it's local news and news within some of the intellectual. The microphone just kind of gave way, so my bad. I just want to give a quick shout out to Jacqueline Valencia. Like Jacqueline Valencia says, hi, Yenny.
Oh, hi, Jackie.
She says work.
Hey.
Work it.
Yes, we're going to work it, girl. Yes, we are.
So tonight, very, very important topic, voting, the importance of voting. We have the perfect person for it. I kind of want to start off with this, guys, before we go in a deep dive of what Yenny does and everything she's about. I want to stress the importance, obviously, of it. Yeah. I want to figure out, ask you guys, why is it that people find it such a hurdle to get out there and vote? You know, I don't really know, and I'm looking at this in a very naive way because I really don't know the other side of it because I grew up sort of always voting and stuff like that, and it was always, I think maybe I got into it in the easy way, you know, where you go and you register to vote once you get like your ID and stuff like that renewed. So I kind of just automatically did it that way, and I kind of fell into it, so it just became a habit. But why is it that people?
I feel like for sure, it's because people feel like their vote doesn't count, which to an extent, on the grander scale, when you start getting to, you know, bigger politics, maybe presidential, you have less say. But personally speaking, not to cut you off, local politics, it's very important. Your vote is extremely important. That's at least for what I know, what I see.
So
personally.
So Yenny, that's a perfect segue to Yenny, and I want you to share exactly what it is how you feel, what you personally feel about the importance of voting. Because I spoke to you yesterday, and I want you to get this crystal clear out there and let the people know who you are, obviously your organization, and why is it so important?
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me here. I think that sharing this information with folks is crucial, and it's super important because I think what Diana said is true. Some people feel like, you know, they don't want to do it. I don't know. But anyways, let me start off by introducing myself. My name's Yenny Garcia. I'm a mother of 2 beautiful girls, and I was born in Guerrero, Mexico. my family migrated here to Richmond in 1992. And, you know, just growing up, like, for me, I'll speak from personal experience, I didn't really know what voting was. Like, my family didn't vote. And what I'm gonna speak on specifically today from a personal view is speaking from my heart, what I feel, because I live it. I'm a non-voter, and like myself, there's 500,000 more DACA recipients that cannot vote. And for me, joining this project, the West County Voter Project, wasn't just a project to get people out to vote, but it was to get our voices heard. And I'm talking about the voices that sometimes are in the shadows, and we feel like we can't make a difference because we can't vote, but we can. We can definitely make a difference. And I remember growing up and passing by that big red building at City Hall. I didn't know what it was, other than like knowing that back in the days that was a police station. And I knew that I should stay away from there. I didn't know that like that's where the mayor was and that's where the city council people were. You know, I didn't know that. And so I always wonder what that big red building was. And I think that there's a lot of folks out there that don't know that they have a voice, that they have power, that their vote matters, that even though it seems like they want to feed us this fear that it doesn't, it does, you know. And like Dana was saying, like on a grand scale, maybe the presidential election seems so far away, but things like right here, right locally in our city, in the city of Richmond, you know, it counts. Like we get to put who's going to be our mayor, who's going to be our next city council member. So it is important for people to be educated on this topic, because for people that cannot vote, we are going to get people that can vote to go out there and put people in power that look like us, that have the same values like us, and that can make a difference in our communities, right? So for us, it's super important. So I don't want to say more.
No doubt. And like I could totally relate. Growing up, the importance of voting was not one of the things that was stressed upon me, or I think my peers either. I feel like nowadays it's getting a lot more attention, at least within my community, and I recognize that it's a little bit different than when I was growing up. And so I think that's, you know, you got to give credit to the people who made that happen. It didn't happen by itself, you know. And voter suppression is real. That's a real deal, you know. And I feel like that's part of the plan. That some people have that plan to suppress votes because it's in their benefit. And so it's up to us to get educated and learn and know about these things so that we can actually make a difference and utilize our vote, because there's a lot of people who don't vote, and that's what we want to make sure that we can touch today and have them recognize how important it actually is.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask Anselmo, or I mean anybody in general, how is it that we all feel, or that y'all feel is a great way of going about? Because I know Anselmo, Yenny, you have been in the community, involved in the community for a while now. What are some good tips for people out there who are trying to motivate people to vote? Like, how can we get people? Because I think it should be sort of a drip down effect, right? Like, how can we get these people?
100%, I agree with that. Look, for example, say you're someone in your family who the rest of the family listens to, you know, and if you go to the family and say like, look, it's time to vote, we got to vote, they're gonna listen. Even if you might got to fill it out for them, you can help them, you know, if it's a mail-in ballot. But stressing it within your family and your friends, that's where it starts, right? And then you're able to reach more people, because if they follow suit, they can then tell their family and friends, and then it trickles down. But it comes down to education, right? People have to be educated on why it's important. Otherwise, they don't understand why it's important to them. They think, well, this is for somebody else, right? Especially when you start getting into like the electoral college and all that stuff, people get really confused and they don't know what's going on. They're like, you know what, doesn't matter anyways, right? But I got some facts here that I'm gonna share with you in just a little bit about how important your vote actually is, right? But I don't want to talk too long about it if anyone else had strong feelings.
I just wanted to say, like, commend you for that, because I didn't know that you couldn't vote. but you're like going so hard. You even have a sample mail-in ballot, which is gonna show everyone in a second. So I think that's super impressive.
Yeah,
that was like a fact I wanted to highlight. Yeah.
And I think what John asked is important because we have to make it personal, you guys. Like if for people to get out and vote, if like they don't feel that it's not gonna affect them personally, like they might not do it. But when you tell people your story, how this proposition is gonna affect your community, you know, we were talking about a proposition that's gonna affect Lyft drivers and Uber drivers. It's like talk to your friends, you know, talk to your family that drive. Like, hey, how would this benefit you or not benefit you? And like making it personal so that it feels like it's hitting home and it gets people to get out and vote. Because, you know, you want to do the best for your family. You want to do the best for your friends. And so when it becomes a personal story and a personal experience, and when like I tell people like, look, I can't vote. You need to vote for me. Like it becomes like in my household, like there's a lot of folks in there that didn't vote and weren't voting. And I got a ballot from them, like, because I started talking to them. Like, what? And I'm not gonna cry, you guys. Soy bien chillona. Hold on, because I will cry. I'm like a good Latina. I will start crying up in this podcast.
Like a good Catholic Christian Latina.
But look, it is super personal because, like for example, this is real, you guys. This is real. Like yesterday, they gave me a ballot and they were like, "Here." They weren't gonna vote. You could have it. Help us. And I said, "Wow." Like that person can vote, but they're not doing it. How many of us out there that can't vote? And I'm just not just talking about undocumented folks. I'm talking about, you know, previously incarcerated individuals that were stripped from their right. Like how many of us are out there that can't? And these people can, but no lo hacen. Like they don't do it. So, you know, it's like, it's powerful. And we definitely want to get people to know why they should be going out to vote, that it's so important.
Yeah, I think in my case, I think the education part is pivotal. A lot of people that I know just don't know what, when, where, and how.
Yeah.
So in my case, it would be telling them, like, you know, obviously, and I think that when it comes to, like, I think politics, religion is always one of the topics that are really hard to talk about, right? So I think, you know, a good rule of thumb is to just teach them how to even register, right? Just get them sort of their feet wet. Don't get too into the other stuff, like, you know, vote for this, vote for that, vote for him, vote for her, because then it starts to get a little dicey, I think. Then it starts to get a little bit more of a pushy kind of thing. Just, you know, I think that getting, you know, people just out there and registered to vote may trigger them to maybe, hopefully, do some more research on their own and then vote accordingly to how they feel.
Yeah.
You know, G, what's going on, G?
I agree with you. With the first thing that you said is, I think the first step would definitely be to register. And from there, you get your ballot. You don't, depending on, you know. And then from there, once you have it, I think people get that feeling, should I not? And then that's when you can approach the person and just really say, you know, well, here, you have it already. The next step is just filling it out. And then kind of going over some topics, you know, like say, you know, a certain proposition more than the other, kind of put them in a way where it affects them and looking for that thing that would, you know, make them vote yes or no on it, you know, kind of breaking it down, like you guys said, you know, make it real personal for them to where it'll affect them in the long term. And I think one of the things that you guys hit on was, why don't people vote? I mean, I think a lot of people feel like they don't get, a reward right away. You know, most of these things, you know, are long term, and people don't see it that way. So
that's very true.
And you know, like another thing, just to follow up on that and piggyback, I know Diana mentioned about how people don't feel like it matters, their vote doesn't count, and I know like some people also feel like they have so many things going on. I'm so busy all the time. I don't got time to vote. You know, I don't got time for it. And it don't matter anyways. That's not my opinion, but I know people that I've heard from that this is their thought process. Doesn't matter. I don't have time for it. It's a waste of my time. Now, on that same token, I'm not going to say whether someone does not have time. Because that is a no-win situation, right? But like you can say like, well, you was doing this, A, B, or C. You got time for that,
Call them out.
but
You're out at Paris Street, happy hour.
I'm not gonna say go too deep into that.
Yeah.
But there are people who think this way,
Yeah.
and I've
Yes.
encountered them. I know some of them, and I've tried to talk some sense into them. But
It's sort of beating your head against
You can always talk
cement
about
wall.
money too.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of things that if people are giving like that excuse, like let's say they are informed, they are educated and about the topic, but they just say, oh, I work too much, I don't have time. You can always use that as like work as an incentive. So you can say something along the lines of, well, your tax that's coming out of that paycheck will be affected.
The
So
same thing you're
that-
complaining about.
Exactly. The money will motivate those,
Most people.
workaholics.
And as far as resources go, we have one here.
Yes.
We have Yenny. So she can maybe explain to them a little bit more, Yenny, what you can do for the people out there.
Of course, I would love to. So this is Yenny, the community organizer talking. So I'm the outreach coordinator for ACCION, the West County Voter Project. And this project was put together 2 years ago. Oscar Garcia and other community leaders, other hubs, the Contra Costa College. And it was really to increase voter participation, like low propensity voters, people that don't usually come out. And and then also find out why not, and like what we were talking about, like as I'm going in the community in this past week, I've been asking why not. And sometimes it's as simple as I just don't know where to go, or I messed up on my ballot, like I can't vote no more. And I do want to be able to have some time to answer those questions because they are important. So something I wanted to mention, John, when you said, and also on some way you said you don't have time and maybe have a family member help you. We have our voter bill of rights. I say our because va a ser mío one day. Number 5 of the voter bill of rights says that you have the right to get a new ballot if you made a mistake. So if you made a mistake, don't worry. Absolutely no worries. Go get another provisional ballot. Number 6 of your voter rights. You have the right to get help casting your ballot from anyone you choose to, except your boss or like a union rep. But if you don't really know, ask someone. You have that right. It's not like it's cheating, like, oh, I shouldn't ask anybody. And then the other thing, people have not voted or don't vote because they have this thing where I have to fill out the whole ballot. And that's something that I want to get across to our community members is that you don't have to fill out everything. Like if you don't know certain things, it's better to abstain. I learned this myself. Abstain from voting if you don't really know. And that means you don't have to fill it out. If you want to just vote for the president, just vote for whoever you think the president is, the best that you chose. But we really want to get our community to start thinking about change at a local level. So if there's no people, if in the city council, there's no one that looks like you, vote for someone that you think will represent you, go vote. If you feel like there's not enough women on the council, get out and vote. That's where really change comes in, right? We can't just think that things are going to magically happen. At a local level, and I think we were talking about this earlier, you want to talk about that? Because I thought that was so
I wanted to share this because I did a little bit of research without sharing any names. I'm just going to say that last election for city council 2018, right? I got the official final report in front of me, right, from Contra Costa County, and it shows here that 12 votes decided the third candidate. So city council, they had 3 seats open, and last election was before we transitioned to district elections, and so it was open, right? So you vote for your top 3, and whoever gets the most votes out of those 3, out of the candidates, they get elected. And so 12 votes decided last year's election.
That's crazy.
Right? And so that's for those who think that their vote doesn't matter. It actually does, and it mattered a lot in this instance. I don't know what this other candidate thought, the one that lost by 12 votes. I would love to talk to him and say, how did you feel about losing by 12 votes? Like, you could have just talked to 12 people and got them to vote for you. And
12 primos are
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that's like a Latino.
man, like,
That's a whole family, you know?
you could have had one household vote for you, would have made a difference. Almost. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I bet that guy felt like? Like the Tampa Bay Rays when they pulled out the pitcher.
Ah.
What inning was it, Ronnie? In the 6th inning, and now the Dodgers. Unfortunately, put it on G real quick. Put it on Gio.
Don't give him
Just give him a yeah. He's a Dodgers fan. Unfortunately, what could you do? The world isn't perfect. Dodgers win the World Series.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
How does that work? How are you a Dodgers fan?
Lakers fan, Dodgers fan, Niners fan.
Are you from LA?
I was born in Los Angeles. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the year that last time that the Dodgers won it, I had just moved out here. Yeah, so it was 88.
Man, you kind of old then, huh? Oh, no, just kidding.
Too bad I don't look it. No.
Just teasing. I have nothing against the Dodgers. I'm an Ace fan, but
Yeah,
no,
I do. I'm a Giants fan, so
Yes, go
rivalry
Giants.
goes-
I am too.
Rivalry goes. Yeah, so 3
5 years.
3 championships in 5 years. So don't forget your pappy.
It's all right. 1989. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's move on.
1989. Yeah, that's a good. But no, man. No, seriously though, it must feel really crunchy for that guy to be like, dang, 12 votes. Jesus. So that's just a very real local example of your vote counts. Your vote really does count. So thank you for sharing that and some of that very real fact for us there.
Yeah, and like just looking at it still, you can tell that the candidate who lost was
Someone's
leading.
just staring at the paper right now. You can't believe it.
Look. Let me tell you this. So the candidate who lost was leading by the votes by mail by 500, give or take, votes. So then the election day, he got outpaced by more than that number, and lost by 12. Like it was literally 10.1% to 10.09%. But let me tell you this, because this is another number that's probably gonna throw you for a loop. How many? Who in here knows? What's the population in Richmond?
I think it was like 30,000.
30,000? No.
130.
100. It's over 100. Like 110 or so thousand, right?
Great.
I just have to add an extra.
Richmond is 110,000, right? Give or take. Now, who can guess? I might give you a prize. I don't know. Who can guess?
I just seen it, so I'm like.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Who can guess how many votes it takes to get elected, or it took to get elected for city council in 2018?
So we're going on at that. We're going on a 100,000 number, right? Around 100,000. Let's just say that.
That's how many people live
in
or
Richmond.
that's the population.
So we're going on that. So let's say, I would say, 25% of that. So we're talking what? 25,000.
Okay, that's a good guess. Anyone else want to make a guess?
I'll say 1,000, Bob.
Let us know in the comments what you think too. I want to see that.
All right, so let's go ahead and clarify that question for everybody. So go ahead and ask that again.
I'm
Someone.
gonna ask this question one more time. The population of the city of Richmond is about 110,000 people, give or take a couple of knuckleheads, or good people too. You know? But the question is, how many people did it take? How many votes did it take to get elected for city council in 2018?
And I said 25,000.
So you said
25%.
I'll say 12.
12,000.
12,000.
All right. So let me tell you this: if anyone got 12,000 votes, they would have won
By
a landslide. It took 7,934 votes, or 10%, 10.1%. I just shared the numbers with you guys. Come on, 10.1% of the population voted. Right?
Jeez. Voted?
Yeah.
Or voted for that candidate.
Oh, I thought you said just voted. I was like,
voted for that candidate.
I was gonna say that's horrible.
That's how many votes it took to get elected, right?
Yeah.
7,934.
According to this total, there was like 18, but overall, right?
Yeah.
But then to get a city council seat.
Yeah.
7
The
G's.
the bare minimum was around
7,000.
7.
Okay.
Yeah.
And look, as
That's
Latino
low.
voters, like we have more than that in our familias, right?
Yep.
'Cause
I have about 8,000, but just on my
So come on.
dad's side.
We could definitely make this happen. And then, yeah, that's crazy. 12.
And they call Latinos voting wise, they call them the sleeping giant because they could do like some serious damage when it comes to election. But yeah, it's sleeping giant, you know? No one really goes to vote, the ones that are eligible.
Well, don't you have a number with that?
Yeah, well,
Tied into that?
you know, the number of eligible Latino voters could have an enormous political impact, as Diana said. But eligibility versus voter turnout ratio is not where I would
skewed.
like it to be. You
It's a
know,
skewed number.
so I have a number from 2012, from the 2012 presidential election. The Latino voter turnout rate was at an underwhelming 48%, falling below pretty much every other race as far as voting nationality. Yeah.
I think we have a total of eligible voters of 30 million in the U.S. eligible voters. So we have the potential to be the largest ethnic minority group to vote. We're projected, but Yenny, as you know, projections don't really translate into concrete numbers.
Yeah. No, they don't, unfortunately. So I have a number that I thought was really cool because I don't do well with percentages, you guys. But in 2018, in the midterm elections, 12 million Latino voters came out. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And that's only the ones that came out, like Diana was saying. Like, there's still the more that are like they're sleeping.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not coming out.
Get
And
the
I'm like,
masa
this is-
still in the
Yeah.
kitchen cooking. You know, like the concha still out there.
Okay,
Yeah.
with
Doing
la
some other
cobija de San Marcos, they're
Yeah.
hecka warm. They don't want to
Exactly.
come out. But
Well,
look, 60% of the Latino voters are younger than 34.
Yeah.
Yeah.
60%. Can you imagine? Our youth has power. We need to show our muscles. We need to flex our muscle in those polls. Like, if we don't do that, if we don't get our nephews and primos and young ones to go out there and vote and be our voice, man, we're missing out on a lot. And we want to be able to empower young folks at an early age. I had my niece, I want to shout out my niece Frida. Yesterday, I was talking to my cousin and her first time voting. Go Frida, yes. It's like you empower them at a young age as soon as they hit 18 so that they can continue to create real change, you know, because we can't do the, you know, I've been a community organizer for a lot of years. I've seen a lot of propositions. I've seen a lot of things that people want change. But if we're not out there voting for these changes to actually happen, they won't happen. And so we need to go out and vote, you guys. Like, I can't stress this enough. And like, I also want to have the opportunity to answer questions like if someone doesn't know where the early voting site is. Like, do you guys know? A ver.
You mentioned it earlier,
A
so
ver
I
si
know
saben.
I would be cheating
I
if I.
didn't mention it. I did. Okay.
Off air, off air. It was off air.
Can I phone a friend?
No. Yeah, so I'll just remind folks, early voting site, there's two, like for the Richmond folks, we're telling them to come to the Richmond Auditorium, which is easier to get to. For the people that live closer to San Pablo, there's a Hilltop Mall one. They're going to be open October. So this coming Friday, you guys, Friday, Saturday, and Monday, like we were talking about people, right now it's not even like go out and vote. It's like, we're going to make a plan. What's the plan? Oh, you like going dancing on Fridays? Can you stop by the poll before though? Like you're good. You and your 5 friends are going to the club.
Yeah.
Can y'all have happy hour at the poll?
Yeah.
We're not talking about the poll you guys are talking about.
And not the other kind of
We're
poll.
talking about the poll that you put your ballots in, not the one that you hang on. Take it easy, guys.
Yeah, but you know, it's real. Like, seriously, take your friends to vote, and like, don't unfriend people if they don't vote. Tampoco. We want to have conversations, not eliminate friendships, because that's like a very like subject, right? Like, so educate folks with love and kind, and that's why I said speak from experience, from your heart. I think that's where the real change comes in, when you make it personal, when you say, you know, this proposition will affect me this way, and then let them decide. So ACCION actually has a helpline that I want to be able to show.
Please.
510-255-0069. We are live every day, English and Spanish, 4 to 6. We want you to call us. We want you to ask us questions because a lot of the things might not be talked about right now. But if you don't know where your polling site is, if you don't know where your ballot is, right now we're telling people to not even mail it. Although the mail is good, but it's so close, you don't want to risk it. Mm-hmm. Just take your ballot to the drop or the early voting site. And there's the easiest one to get to is the one at the Richmond Auditorium. But it's really important to make a plan. Right now, it's not about like, ya votaste. It's like, hey, what's the plan?
Yeah, there you go.
When people say like, a ver, ¿qué onda? Like,
what's that number? What's the phone number again?
510-255-0069. That's our ACCION helpline. Like, seriously. And you can text us too, because I know a lot of people don't feel comfortable with calling. Send us a text. Like, I had people earlier sending questions like, where's the polling? And there's people that even my tia that lives in Richmond that knows where the Civic Auditorium is did not know there was a drop box there. And I spoke this about on another live that we did. There's this whole thing on some, I don't know if you guys heard it in LA, by the way. They were putting fake ballot drop boxes. Right?
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
And people were getting confused, and so we want to be able to show folks like which one is the real one,
Yeah.
And so I sent pictures to my friends, like, this is what it looks like. This is the one that it's at the Civic Center, or at the Richmond Auditorium, and only drop it in there. And the early voting sites, I want to tell our viewers the times. So they're actually going to be open Friday 11 to 7 and Saturday 9 to 5 and Monday 11 to 7. And that's for if you haven't gotten your ballot in the mail, like Anselmo, I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, no.
What's the plan? Are you going? Which day are you going?
I'm going to vote. I was going to go on election day, but now I'm thinking about going a little bit early so I can maybe
You
beat the
have
line.
Friday, Saturday, or Monday. Which day are you going? Ave?
Yeah. Well, I gotta
Pick a date.
figure that out. I'm gonna figure that out.
Pressure's on.
I'm gonna make a plan.
Make a plan.
Yeah.
No.
Make a plan.
My plan was to go on election day. That was the plan because I get to get paid, take some time off from work, take my time.
And that's okay.
Walk into
If that's
work
the
with my
plan, that's
Starbucks.
the plan. Yeah.
You bring up a good
And my I voted patch on, a little sticker, be like, yeah, I voted, guys.
Yes.
My Starbucks, be like, okay. I see where you were at. So that was my plan. I didn't want to tell my plan, but
I love the plan because now people can be like, I'm gonna do that plan too. Walk with the Starbucks and my sticker. Hey,
walk
that's a
in
good plan.
No, I was gonna get my Starbucks, do all that. That's the plan. But now I'm thinking I might beat the line on election day because I'm expecting it to be kind of crazy, social distance and stuff. So maybe I'll just go early. 'Cause I didn't know that. So thanks for sharing that information. Now my plan is in a whirlwind.
A quick life hack. That's good stuff on something. But what you could do, and this is to Yenny's point, if you receive your ballot in the mail, you can fill it out, make sure to sign it, make sure to seal it, and then you go to like any drop-off place on the day of, or even the early voting sites too, right?
Yeah.
So you can go to early voting site, or you can go to wherever you're registered and just drop it off. You don't have to wait in line. You don't have to like deal with any of the mess. You don't have to go in person and pencil anything in. You can just have it ready and leave. Okay, so that's just like a pro tip if you didn't know that.
That's how I usually like to do it. I usually fill out my ballot in advance, take my time, look at it, But now, since I didn't get my early voting ballot in the mail, I'm going to have to go in person, which is new for me. I haven't did that since it's been over a decade, I think. Right. But, we're going to make it happen. Not going to stop me.
All right, y'all. So I do want to give a few shout outs here.
All
I want to give a shout out to Nelly Velasquez. She is rooting you on. You got a few people out here showing you love. So she's here to support Sister Yenny. She loves the passion that you have for your community. The Daily Fix Nutrition. She actually hit me up on Instagram just to make sure. So she tuned in. Thank you for tuning in. So she is also part of the community. Once your store opens up, please let us know so we can go ahead and
we need her smoothies.
We need your smoothies, all right? So make sure to let us know. And Jacqueline Valencia says, "Go A's." I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I love you, baby, but no.
And then Rudy Garcia.
Oh, shh. Gosh.
Go, baby.
Okay.
Go, baby.
Okay. I see you, baby.
I see you, boo. Abigail Berroterang. Berroterang. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but she says you're such a natural. I
Oh,
agree.
Abby, I love you.
I agree.
Thank
I
you
think
for
she's-
being here, girl.
Girl.
Yenny's a superstar.
We gotta
Wow.
recognize.
You
Okay.
got a lot of love out there.
She's got.
Hey, we have to make it happen, you guys. Like, I've been
Yes.
spreading the word so much, and I'm so
Yeah.
happy that you guys have me here.
Yeah, no,
Because
thank
we're
you.
gonna hopefully reach more folks that need this info. That we're just waiting for this moment, like the procrastinators. I'm a procrastinator. Like, I leave out todo para la último, and I think that's how I work better sometimes. And so it's literally crunch time.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
do
crunch
it.
time. Exactly. So the time is now, y'all. So
Yeah.
you know that whole waiting period is over. We're at the procrastination period, and Somo will not be filling out his ballot with Starbucks, but he's gonna get it done. So that being said, you guys, we're gonna move on to our next segment. Our next segment, we here at Moving Forward are so very proud to have the privilege, the opportunity to give out scholarships to very well-deserving young individuals here in our community. Yenny, this is something that we do.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned earlier in the program, you said if you don't see anybody that looks like you on the city council board, vote for somebody. So we're trying to empower our youth to get your education and come back
Yes.
and add on to, you know, to our community, you know, and so that we can vote for somebody who's from here, who looks like us. So we get to contribute to that, hopefully. So this leads us to the next segment called Diana. It's a new segment called Diana Scholars.
So hi everybody, welcome to the segment for today. So in introducing the scholars, the one we want to highlight is Luisa Sandra Managan. So you're going to see a picture of her pulling up in just a second. So here she is. So Luisa Sandra came from De Anza High School, and fun fact, she's the third person this year that was awarded one of our scholarships to attend UC Berkeley. So she says she's an immigrant student coming from the Philippines, and you know it's her dream to go to school. And in her words, this is why she applied for the scholarship, and this is the reason why she decided to pursue higher education. She believed that the community service is important because it facilitates a sense of understanding and gratitude towards environments, and it also allows individuals with various backgrounds to pursue higher education. So big shout out to Luisa Sandra. Congratulations for being one of the award recipients for this year. So if you're interested and if you know anybody that is looking for a scholarship, the next round of applications will be coming in the next few months, but you could definitely get more information on our page. So if you go on movingforward510.org, you can find more info there.
Perfect. And that's beautiful, right, Yenny?
Beautiful.
It's so beautiful. Like,
Ain't it?
wow.
It kind of
I get
makes everything
chills.
worth it, you know?
Yes.
Right? It doesn't makes everything worth it. So
Yeah. Vale la pena.
exactly. So okay, Ronnie. Moving on from that, it was kind of touchy. I don't know what the chills kind of came over me.
Yeah, I love that segment.
I know, right?
Segment.
It's
Yeah.
so powerful.
Yeah.
It is.
I am gonna cry today.
Oh, we don't make me cry. Oh, you know what? And Selma actually, in our first episode ever, said that he was going to cry.
I'm working on it.
Maybe
So
it's
we're-
the day today.
Today might be the day.
Working on it.
Said no
Onions,
wisdom.
somebody cut onions here.
So, okay, Ronnie. Before we go any further, I want to give a massive thanks to La Sagrada Familia that gives us the space and opportunity to carry out our podcasting dreams. Although Moving Forward and the FWeb podcast is not affiliated with any religious practice, we do understand that it can be an integral part of bettering some people's lives. With that being said, La Sagrada Familia is a Roman Catholic church located on 600 South 16th Street, and it's a primarily Spanish-speaking congregation. Details on La Sagrada Familia's contact information will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, Mike. Big Mike. That's what I call him. He doesn't like to be called Big Mike, though.
Call him Little Mike.
I can call him Little Mike.
Is he
I don't know
big?
if you like that.
He's
either.
big.
Like tall, big, or like?
A little bit of both.
Tiny.
He's a great guy. You'll meet him.
Yeah. Another great resource. I
He's
think
a
I had mentioned
taker.
that he's a mental psychologist, PhD, and just the overall guru in the arts of knowledge and
Definitely is.
such things as those. So I am very excited to hear what Gio has for us tonight, guys.
It's something serious.
As we have no clue what he's going to hit us with. He's a wild man. So Gio, tonight you get a little bit of Gio in Gio's segment called Gio's Life Hacks.
I love this.
I love that video, guys. Every time it just makes me laugh. All right, so life hacks. We're gonna do this every week. I always try to, last week I tied it into the pets. This week, since it's Halloween week, I want to tie it into that. We mentioned, or someone mentioned, that kids are probably feeling like, oh, they're not able to celebrate Halloween. They might be feeling down. There's options out there. So I kind of want to tie this more of advice than a life hack. But what we're doing at my household with my family, we're going to put the candies in like these tissue papers, wrap them up, and spread them out just like you do for Easter. Instead, we're doing that. So the kids are actually, get to go look for their candies. That way they're not sitting, just not doing anything. And put them in the backyard a little before the sun goes down. That way, they still feel like they're trick-or-treating or getting a reward out of it.
So like a candy hunt.
Yeah, candy hunt. Yeah.
Okay.
And putting them in the tissues so they look like ghosts. And so
creative.
I give credit to my sister for that. She's the one putting it together for nieces and nephews. So, keeping it small. That way, if you don't want to go out and do that, that is an option. So.
Oh yeah. So she made that up, or did she get that?
No,
from,
well,
like,
she's seen it. Leave TikTok. She's huge on TikTok right now.
Oh, TikTok.
Yeah, so
TikTok.
if you guys don't want to go knocking on doors and want to find a way to keep the kids entertained, please do that.
Yeah, nice
I love
safe
that.
way. Safe way of getting some fun done. Not going too far.
Yeah.
I might just suggest that to do it every Halloween week. Because at least in the previous ones, I remember being a kid. Sometimes it just be freezing cold.
Yeah.
Like it just be super cold walking around, and I'd be like, man, I want to go home, man. Like I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done knocking on these doors.
Yeah.
So it's get alternative.
Weather nowadays is a little different.
Yeah.
I don't know,
A
but
lot warmer.
Right.
yeah, it's gonna be like 90 degrees on Halloween. Next thing you know it. But that's another subject. We can talk on that.
Yeah.
all
Global
day.
warming.
Whoa.
You want to go there, guy?
Let's not
You want to
dig
go
into that.
chemtrails?
We'll go into
Bro, I will Alex Jones you right now, bro.
We'll go. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole right now because we're talking about vote, and that's it. But that was a great life hack, though.
That is a good life hack for the nephews. And speaking of nephews, is my youngest nephews, not my youngest nephews, Ronnie's little brother, young David. It's his birthday. He turns, I believe he turns 7. 14.
Oh,
Wow, John.
14.
well,
I
Jay,
get it though. Sometimes you just always think of him as a little
7
baby.
14.
That's what-
Good save there.
7.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do, guys? They have a village of nephews and nieces. You can't keep up with them all. And like someone said, one of his advice that I took to crack it up. One of his advice that I took from last episode was don't give your nephews any presents. Right? Is that what you said? Pretty much.
Don't give them a pet.
Turtle.
I take it as don't give them any presents because you might get in trouble with the missus, and it might be a situation.
At least you remembered their birthday because
Yeah.
I have so
Oh, I did
many cousins that sometimes, I'm not even gonna lie, I forget the younger ones' names. Like it just gets. I have over 50 cousins, like no joke. So
If they're not old enough to have Facebook, there's a chance I might forget.
they look alike.
Shout out Facebook reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are helpful.
You viewers, you probably know one of Deanna's cousins.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm sure you do.
I know Deanna's whole family apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend that I was like sharing info, and she's like, "Oh, it's mi sobrina." I'm like,
That's
What?
so funny.
"Yeah, your family's huge, girl."
It's huge. Yeah.
Are they
so-
all voting, by the way?
There we go.
That's 50 votes.
Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you do it right there.
Do you see that? That is a
Bam.
prime.
Slip that in there. Slip it in there.
That's so cool, man. But you guys, man, it's been super, super fun. I want to give Yenny just some more time. Could you please let the people know if they need any help, where to reach you or where to reach ACCION?
Of course. So, yes, we have an ACCION voter helpline. You can call us 510-255-0069 en inglés y en español. So, para la gente que nos está viendo que no habla inglés, también tenemos a gente que habla español y que les puede contestar sus preguntas. No se deje que por la mala información que está afuera. Your voice matters. Do it for me. If you see me out there, do it for me. Do it for the other folks that can't vote. Get out and vote. You want change, real change? Vote. You want to see different people as a mayor, as a city council? Get out and vote. Do it for the homies, you know? Let's do it for us. Like for
For the
real.
homies.
There
Come
you
on.
go.
So yeah.
For real.
Call us, text us. We would love to help you. ACCION has committed these next few days for you to answer your questions. And on election day, we're going to be open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. to answer questions, because I think that's going to be like the busiest day where people are going to be like trying to get to the poll and not know where to go. Where's my polling site? So I actually got Anselmo to pull up his information.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to test if he had voted. I'm like, a ver, ¿ya
Could you pull
votaste?
mine up?
Yeah, we could definitely pull yours up.
All right. So
Yeah,
what
that's
she
something a
does
lot of
that.
people don't know about that. But you could actually track, kind of like a package, whenever you order something online, where
Yeah.
your ballot is at,
Yes,
and
you
if it
can.
has already been mailed out,
Yeah.
if it's been delivered, you can check all of that. So those of
Yeah.
you who don't trust the mail or Dropbox, you can actually follow it and make sure that it gets to where it has to go.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things that Yenny had mentioned. Since while I'm filling out here. Yeah,
I'm putting him on the spot, you guys. So
That's cool.
I want him to fill out.
Oh,
A ver si es cierto
right.
que ya votó, right? He invited me. A ver, let's see what's going to happen here.
One thing about me, is I wouldn't put myself on the spot if I didn't already. I just want to see how it works.
Yeah,
Fresh hands, you
yeah.
know?
So you can actually go to cocovote.us and you can search your name, and it'll tell you information about your polling site. If you're eligible to vote, like it'll tell you really cool info. And I won't share John's info, but it'll tell you your polling place. Like instead of going to these early voting sites, like you have a assigned polling place. So on election day, you have to go to this place only, because that's where you will have a provisional ballot. But if you don't have one and you want to go before, the early voting site is for you. But if it's going to be on election day, someone you still don't. If you have your ballot, just go to one of the polls. I showed you earlier.
Yeah.
And your information is on her history browser now, so she's got
Hey.
tabs on
Yes.
you.
You're gonna, yeah, for sure.
No, we made a plan already, right?
Yeah,
His
set.
Starbucks, ¿y qué más?
So look. I'm gonna wake up late on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Don't tell my job. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'll go to the polling place after I go to Starbucks. Take my time, vote, show up to work like 10 hours late. It's an 8-hour shift. And then I'll just go to
We might need.
I'm listening, bro. I'm like, I'm taking. I'm
show up
needing
to work with my vote sticker.
Yeah.
Be like, where? They were like, where were you?
Or your vote mask.
My vote mask. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
So Yenny, what's the results here? My corona positive or negative?
Oh my gosh, John, I don't know.
Yeah. So
So your ballot, your ballot was received on the 19th. So thank you for voting.
nice.
Yeah,
Jay.
he did it, you guys.
He
on
did it.
the 19th.
I did it, guys.
Un aplauso, you guys.
Can I please? Let's see who to thank. I want to thank everybody here. I want to thank young Ronnie for being on the board tonight. Young Ronnie is taking over Marco. We can't forget about Marco. He took over the boards on season 1, but now we have young Ronnie on season 2. And Selma, you want to give any shout outs? Anything you want to
I
say?
always got to give a shout out to Lady. She holds it down on the social media. She's the one who's putting together all those messages, reminding all of our followers about what we got going on, letting you know to tune in to the podcast, letting you know we have a cleanup. She does all of that, so we got to make sure we show her some love. Thank you, Lady.
All right, D.
I second that. Shout out to Lady. And also thank you so much to our guest, Yenny, for all the info today and for really pushing this because, yeah, super impressive.
Definitely. Okay. G, the man, the myth, the legend.
As always, I want to thank the viewers for tuning in, comments, everybody who came out and supported for our guest, and you guys. I mean, talking about this topic, we actually had it for later on this year, but we switched it. Perfect timing. I think it's perfect. Get the information out right now. Pretty much, it's voting next Tuesday. So yeah.
Cool.
Thank you guys for that.
Hey, I got a challenge. All my viewers, all the viewers, everyone who's tuning in, please share, tell somebody else to vote. Share this video with them. You're gonna tell them to vote or tell them personally, but try and get one more person to vote if you can.
Yeah, that's a great challenge.
Yeah,
Great challenge.
I'm gonna do that myself. I'm challenging myself to get a couple people to vote that I know probably may or may not. I'm gonna push them. I'm pull a Yenny and be like, did you vote?
Yeah.
Pull up my iPad. Okay.
Or invite them out to coffee, and then next thing you know, hey, before we go.
Can I check your ballot?
So, and then we also want to give a huge thank out, of course, once again to Yenny, a very, very good friend of mine. Like I said, I've known her for a very long time now. I'm glad to have crossed paths with you again, Yenny. Want to thank anybody?
Yeah, so I just want to thank everyone here. I think you guys are doing an amazing job. Like, I'm a fan. I listen to all the podcasts. They're powerful, and I can't wait to keep supporting you guys, not just in this voting time that's so crucial, so get out and vote, but just in general. I definitely believe in the vision that FOF has, and I'll definitely spread the word. So I thank you for giving me the platform to talk about something so important. And just give a shout out to ACCION. Our team really is doing some amazing things in such little time. So like Alfredo, Oscar, Cheryl, like everyone that's working on our team, the Latina Center ladies, we have over 12 people calling and reminding voters to vote. I mean, we're reaching a lot of folks in the Richmond, San Pablo area. So thank you. Muchas gracias por estar llamando. Muchas gracias por estar tocando puertas. If anyone wants to come out and canvass with us, we're going to be going on the Iron Triangle this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you don't know what it looks like, come out, hang out with us. I'm more than happy to have anyone come out and support us. So we really need to push people to get out and vote. So thank you. And thank you to those voters that do it for us. Like, yes. You have no idea. Am I going to cry? No. You have no idea how much it means to a lot of us that you do this for us that don't have the voice and the power yet. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I cannot thank you for being that voice of power.
So you heard that, folks. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please share and subscribe. I think our goal here is to get to a point to reach as many people as you possibly can, get monetized. We're going to use anything that we get here to fund our scholarship program. But with that being said, young Rane, let's go ahead and hit that outro. Let's get out of here, guys.